everybody, it's Emily at Build Your Library, and welcome back to another episode of Homeschool Tidbits. Welcome to Build Your Library's Homeschool Tidbits. Today we're doing episode 54, and we're going to be talking about big picture planning for high school. In this weekly video series, I'm going to delve briefly into a topic related to homeschooling, and I'll share some of my knowledge and expertise as a longtime homeschooling mother of 4 children, 3 of whom have graduated, and 1 who is a college graduate. As my youngest child is starting 9th grade this fall, I want to spend some time kind of talking about high school and high school planning. High school is an important 4 years, but for those of us who've been doing this all along, who've been homeschooling for a really long time, it really isn't that different from what we've been doing all along. It just requires a few more steps. That first step is to understand your student and their needs. By the time your child is starting high school, you should have a pretty good idea of what their strengths are. They might not know yet what it is they want to do after they graduate high school, and that is totally okay. But at this point, you should be able to gauge where they might be headed. And it's always nice to have a roadmap. Are they art focused or more into tech and coding? Do they love to write stories, or are they obsessed with history? Maybe they love to create new makeup looks and create new hairstyles, or sew and create new outfits and costumes. Knowing their talents and interests will help you to determine where to focus your time and energy on electives and specialty courses. On the flip side of that is knowing their weaknesses. Do they need to really double down and focus on math or writing, or maybe science has always been a weak spot for you in your homeschool? These are the subjects you should consider outsourcing. Now is the time to start researching online courses and co-ops available to you. Now, in my case, my youngest daughter has been showing a lot of interest in video game design and development. She's been creating games for years with Scratch and coming up with really intricate characters and elaborate backstories for her games. She also loves to write her own graphic novels, so I'm thinking it's time we add in a formal coding course. I also want to find her some art classes to try out. I don't know that she's going to stick with this all 4 years of high school and then go on to study game development and design in college. But since this is where she seems to be headed right now, that's where I'm going to put my focus. That is where I know we can start. I also know that writing is a weakness for her, and so we're going to take her 9th grade year to really hone that skill. Remember, 4 years is both a long time and a short time. Your child may pivot to something totally different by the time they get to their senior year of high school. But for now, I have an idea of where my daughter is headed, so we just need to make sure we cover all of our bases, just in case, for the future. Next, you want to focus on the basics. First thing you need to do is find out what is required for your student to graduate in your state. Every state is different, and you need to know how many credits they need and in what subjects. Not every high school graduate is going to go to college, but if you think your child might, then you need to look into what colleges in your area are expecting to see on a transcript. It's going to probably look a little bit different from the requirements from your state. It might be more involved. They might need to see more of certain things. You need to check that out. For example, you might need 2 or more years of a foreign language. You might need more math credits. Or if your student is going to an art school, you might need to have them develop an art portfolio. We've done that twice now. In New Hampshire, the credit breakdown looks a bit like this, just for graduation. 4 credits in English, 3 credits in math, 3 credits in social studies, and that breaks down to 1 U.S. history credit, 1 world history credit, half a credit in civics, and half a credit in economics. Then they need 2 credits in science, 1 biology and 1 in a physical science, 1 credit in physical education, half a credit in art, half a credit in information and communication technology, half a credit in health, and 6 credits for electives. Now remember, this is a bare minimum. This is just what they need to graduate from high school. So if my daughter chooses to go to college, in addition to the credits we've listed above, she'll also need at least 2 years of a foreign language. And since I suspect she's headed on a STEM or art-related path, I'm also planning on adding some extra coursework in coding and technology, as well as lots of art courses. So as I sit down to plan out a very basic skeleton of her high school career, this is what I'm aiming for. We have 4 credits in English, 3 credits in mathematics, 4 credits in history, 1 credit in government, 1 credit in economics, 3 credits in sciences. She'll do a general science, a biology, and a physical science. We'll have 1 credit in physical education, 2 for foreign language, 1 credit in coding, and 3 to 4 credits in art, plus 4 to 6 more electives of her choosing. This is all just a very basic framework. We can add and adjust as we go. I imagine there might be more in the technology type credits. There might be more art. I don't know what that will look like yet. I'm not worried about that yet either, because we'll focus on 1 year at a time and assess as we go. But for now, I have a pretty good general idea of what we'll be doing for 9th grade and her credits and what that will look like. I do have a plan that I can work from now to ensure that we're going to hit all the necessary credits. So now that we have our basic skeleton of our 4 years, it's time to jump in with both feet and make a plan. So you have your bare bones 4-year plan. Let's start planning 1 year at a time. Do not give in to the temptation to plan their entire high school 4 years all at once. It's never a good idea to plan too far ahead. You do not know what may happen in the future. You don't know how their interests could change. Lots of things can happen. So plan out your high school years 1 year at a time, just like you've been doing all along. You didn't start in kindergarten and plan out their entire education all at once. You went a year at a time and you assessed as you went. So stick with that plan for high school as well. I sat down with my daughter a few weeks ago and we talked about potential courses we could study for her 9th grade year. And she decided that she wanted to do level 8 history of science. That is the thing that most spoke to her. So it's really easy to turn level 8 into a high school level course. I just plan on adding more to the science to make it high school credit worthy, but otherwise, on its own, level 8 is already very easily a high school level. So in addition to doing level 8, which covers history, science, literature, living math, and an art survey course, so in addition to that, she's going to be doing Algebra 1. She's going to be taking an ASL class because that is what we've chosen for her foreign language. She's going to be doing an art class, which I don't know of what yet, but something. And she's going to be doing some computer programming from Khan Academy. So with all of that, this is what her 9th grade credit breakdown is going to look like. It's going to have world history or history of science, and that's going to be 1 credit. English and literature is 1 credit. General science or conceptual physics, I don't quite know what we're doing with the science yet, and that's going to be one credit. Algebra 1 is 1 credit. The living math elective that comes in level 8 is worth a half a credit. The art history survey that is scheduled in level 8 is worth half a credit. Her ASL courses, I think we might do 2 over the year to equal out to 1 credit. And then she's going to have an art class, I don't know what yet, but that'll be probably half a credit. And her coding computer programming course will be probably about half a credit, maybe 1 credit, I don't know yet. This gives her 7 credits for her 9th grade year, which is a pretty good start. Remember to keep in mind that high school planning is just a slightly fancier, more professional version of what you've been doing all along. Make sure you keep good records and you will be more than prepared for whatever they choose to do next. Enjoy these next 4 years. They're going to fly. And remember to make lots of memories along the way. If you found this video helpful, I hope that you'll check out Build Your Library. Build Your Library is a secular, literature-rich homeschool curriculum inspired by Charlotte Mason's philosophy of education. Based on nearly 20 years of homeschooling, I created the curriculum that I wished I had had when I first started homeschooling. I have spent thousands of hours cultivating the best literature to enhance your children's studies. Our lesson plans make homeschooling simple. Just open them up, gather your books, and go. Our easy-to-use lesson plans include everything you need to homeschool, just add math. Choose from our full-year K-12 levels, as well as our fun and topical unit studies and our newest product, Lit Bites. With Build Your Library, you will cultivate a home library filled with captivating literature, and you'll raise children who become lifelong learners. So snuggle up with our lesson plans and a good book or three and have your best homeschool year ever. Every month at Build Your Library, we host a giveaway. This month, we're giving away a free Lit Bite of your choice. There are a whole bunch of ways to enter, and one of them is a code. This month's code is Make a Plan. I'll link more information about the giveaway in the description below. I hope you found this tidbit to be helpful. Please come back next week for more homeschooling inspiration. Until then, happy reading. Bye!